In this video, brought on a friend of mine, Mike Jackness, to talk about whether or not it makes sense to build a brand or just sell whatever products on Amazon are selling well. Before I give Mike a chance to speak, I personally am more of the belief that you should just sell whatever products on Amazon. Customers are buying and are of relatively low competition. Whereas Mike, on the other hand, he would be arguing for it makes a lot of sense to build a nice brand. That's what he prefers to do.
Sounds right to me. Yeah.
All right, so let me go first in this debate.
Going second's advantage, so you go ahead.
When I think about it, brands on Amazon are dead. Amazon has even taken the brand name off the search results page because I think they realize that the typical customer no longer cares about the brand. For the majority, I'm talking about the majority of products here. What they do care about is the quality of the goods, which they're gauging based off of customer reviews, not the brand, and the price, essentially. It really comes down to those two things. The product they're looking for, the quality of it, and the price. And I think brands are a little bit of an old school and dying thing. 20 years ago, before reviews on the internet, the way that you gauged the quality of a good was based off of the brand name, your perception of that brand. But today, in the modern age, that has been replaced with customer reviews.
So I'm lucky in the fact that I have experienced both. We've been selling just random stuff on the internet for quite a while on Amazon. We also built a brand from scratch called Color It and sold it earlier this year. And I look at the two things, and where we're at and where we're moving forward. And first of all, I agree with you. Your assessment in terms of the average customer on Amazon doesn't necessarily care too much about the brand. They're looking for quality, which is based on reviews, and price is the most important factor. But as the space gets more and more crowded on Amazon, when there's more and more people that are listening to all of us tell them how they can sell stuff on Amazon, because that's what we do. And there's obviously a huge opportunity of stuff on Amazon. How do you get a leg up on everybody else is really what it comes down to. And for me, by having a brand, that was the way that we did that. We launched products into ultra competitive spaces. We had not the number one, but one of the top 10 best-selling gel pen sets on Amazon. And we probably could have been number one, but ours was priced double. And you talk about price being a factor. Ours was priced double of the average set of gel pens on Amazon. We also sold colored pencils, watercolor pens, markers, and various coloring books. And we were able to stay ahead of our competition and sell at a higher price because we had that brand affinity. And it isn't that the brand affinity matters directly on Amazon. It's the off Amazon component that you can drive by having brand affinity, by building an email list, by building a Facebook ManyChat group, by building Facebook ad sets and landing pages and stuff to really build a community. Another thing that we did was Facebook Lives all the time. We worked with influencers. So we had people that were searching for Color It stuff. That was an actual, if you look for keyword volume, our brand name on Amazon actually registers, which I think is really cool. And so by being able to send that traffic, that off Amazon traffic to Amazon when we launched the product, even into a really ultra competitive niche like gel pens, allowed us to succeed where otherwise I'm pretty confident we would have just been lost in the sea of all the other gel pens.
I, too, once tried a lot of those methods, building my own website and a ManyChat group and building up an email list. What I found was it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
It seems easy to you, but even just building websites on these simple platforms is a challenge for some people. Then integrating email and getting email subscribers and creating content to, even get them to opt in. And I believe that actually that time is better spent just doubling down and doing what's working on Amazon, with just improving the listing, making the listing a little bit better, doing a better job on PPC, and then start again and launch another product.
So there's a book that I love called Who Moved My Cheese. Have you ever read this book before?
I think this was on my fifth grade reading list.
It was. Well, I'm not much smarter than that, so you gotta bear with me here. If you keep on going back and doing the same thing that's constantly working right now, eventually one day you wake up and realize that block of cheese is gone. And for me, I think because I'm a little bit older and I've been through some multiple business cycles, I realized what it's like to wake up one morning and kind of find out that what I had been doing to make money all this time doesn't work any longer. There's no doubt about it. Building email lists and building a website and doing these things off Amazon, it takes a lot of work. I will also disclose this as well. We have a team, as of recording this, of 14 people. And so I could never do all this myself, right? So if you're a solopreneur just getting started, depending on where people out there listening to this are in their journey, it can be really difficult to be able to do all these things. But because we have a team and because I've been through these cycles, I realized that these email lists and these fans and these assets that we've built, they're ours. They're ours to be able to leverage for the next product and the next product. So certainly we've spent a lot of money up front to be able to build those assets. But when we go to launch products in the future, we don't have to do all the gimmicks that all the other people are doing with giveaways and coupons and driving the price down. And our success rate's way higher. I mean, we were launching things basically at 100% success rate. And by the way, when we want to sell our business, which we did, like I said earlier this year for that brand, we had multiple all cash offers within 2 weeks at a higher than average multiple. So I think that people that are out there that, because there's a lot of money right now that's flowing into the space and people are looking to make investments in e-commerce, they get it as well. If you have one of our other brands, I use brand loosely here, one of the other things that we sell is ice packs, none of those criteria that I just mentioned are applicable. No one's ever going to go talk about how they put something in the freezer and it got cold. It's not exactly exciting. And they usually don't talk about their aches and pains. It's like they're not going to talk about how they have to ice their knee every night because they have knee pain. These are things that people typically keep to themselves. They're not going to be posting about this on social media. So I think that you got to be looking at it on a niche specific thing. And I'm arguing against myself here because selling what I call boring products like ice wraps has also been very lucrative for us. We've done well in that niche. And but I'm not sure that we could get started the same way today. We've been selling those products since 2015, and I look at the space now, and if we were to launch those same products now, how would I have a leg up on everyone else that's launching them? But still, if I had to pick one or the other, if I'm thinking forward to the next things that we're doing, I'm going to lean towards the color it type model rather than the ice wraps model.
By color it type model, you mean a niche that is better for that, or like disposable, or things that they purchase multiple times?
The multiple time thing is quite important. It's expensive and difficult to get a customer in e-commerce. Now, obviously, if you're selling just on Amazon, you can kind of throw that out the door just a little bit, because if you rank number one for something, then it doesn't really matter. It's pretty easy to get a customer.
Right.
It's crazy. Like your conversion rate on the product can be, we were looking at session percentages the other day, and some of our products are 70% conversion rate. It's insane. And so it's actually quite easy if you can rank number one on Amazon. But again, if you don't have a leg up to be able to do that and crack back into that, it's quite difficult. So it's easy and it's hard.
When I look at the search volume on Amazon for a whole bunch of these keywords, it is extremely rare for even larger, more well-known brands to show up with any significant amount of search volume on Amazon. And if I think about that, I buy everything that I own on Amazon. And I would say 99 out of 100 searches that I do on Amazon do not involve a brand name. I'm just searching for the product.
Right.
I'm searching for water glass, cable ties, whatever else. And maybe I'm, outside the average, but based off the Amazon search volume, I think that in general, I'm not. That people typically go to the Amazon search field box, sure, and just enter what their style of product that they're looking for. So I think, that's one of the other reasons I'm like, man, on Amazon, does it really even make a difference?
Well, we definitely, with Color It, to use that as an example again, people would search for gel pens and they didn't care what they were looking for the first time. But when they bought one of our sets of gel pens, we did a really good job with packaging and customer experience, et cetera. And I do believe that on future orders, when they were looking for more gel pens or looking for other coloring type supplies, that they would go look for our brand.
Another reason that I am very skeptical about the...
I haven't convinced you yet?
Not yet.
All right.
I think both of us work with a lot of sellers and businesses. And something that's always interesting to me is people, I talk to people, it's like, oh, tell me about your business. Yeah, I sell on Amazon. I have a Shopify store. I'm in the EU. But then like if you really get down into it, it's like, oh, what percentage of your sales are on Amazon versus your Shopify store versus whatever else? And it's always like, well, I'm still kind of getting started with the e-commerce store. So far it's only about 2 or 3%. Like, but I also sell on Walmart, but I've only sold 4 items over there.
That's a 0.5%.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, so like 97% of your sales are on Amazon. Like, what if you just stopped worrying about all this other stuff that you're spending all this time and brain power and effort on and just went all in where 97% of your sales come from anyway?
Yeah, I mean, even on the brand I'm touting here, the color, right? I mean, the bulk of the sales were certainly on Amazon. It wasn't 97%, but it was in the 80% range, which is still obviously really significant. But again, I mean, I think that I look.
You think your success there was because of the
I do.
The brand?
Yeah, I don't think that one thing could have happened without the other.
Yeah.
There's really no doubt in my mind. And the way that we really know this, one thing that we started realizing when we started launching products, we did this trick of our community would be like clamoring for new products. It's kind of like today, right now, like a new laptop just got launched and you're like, I really want that thing like today, right this minute.
Yeah.
And so our products had that same cachet to them. People wanted the products. And so what we would do is we would leverage our community and our brand and the equity that we have built with these customers and then launch it on Amazon. And so our trick that we would do would be like, oh, we just launched a new set of glitter gel pens today, but they're only available on Amazon for the next 2 weeks, and then they'll be available at colorit.com. But we could crack that market. And so I think that there's a lot to be said for that.
Well, thank you very much for coming on.
I didn't convince you, I don't think, but he's just like, I got to end this at some point. You're never going to give up.
To all the audience out there, hopefully one thing you've realized from this is there's no right or wrong answer. And there's a lot of different ways you can go about to create these businesses. By now you've gotten a little bit of my thoughts around it, as well as Mike Jackness's. And thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks, buddy.
Take care.